So, Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. That kind of summed up our entire season, if I'm being completely honest. It looks good from far, but it's far from good. On paper, it looks amazing. When you strip it all back, get the paint stripper out, get the terps. Yeah, you go inside the beautiful looking house, and it's a dump inside. Oh, that's Arsenal Football Club. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. We had another red card, and it's 6. Yes, 6. 6. Notice he said 6 3 times. Yeah, you're the devil, bruv. Get out of our club. 6 times we've had a red card. Martinelli, Trossard, probably 2 of our better players today. No Declan today. No Timber today. Saka missed the sitter straight away. Thomas Partey nicked the ball back, and then 3 of them all got in each other's way. And then all of a sudden, panic stations. Saliba kicks the ball out. Notice it didn't take them nearly a minute to take the throw in. Bang, cross, Gakpo, 1-0. What's a goal? Then bang, another goal. They could have scored 5 in the first half. However, we could have scored 2 or 3. My point is, we're not good, Kenny. Make sure you follow Kenny Ken 1972. He's making excuses again at full time. I haven't seen his entire press conference, but I've heard the audio of his little interviews. We've seen Peter Schmeichel come out and cuss him and make him right as well. However, Kenny, that kind of does sum up the season. And now we've got Newcastle next week. If they beat us, and you'll be there, if they beat us, that's 4 times this season they've beaten us, and they will go above us. And they got Everton at home last game. We have the Friends of Aaron Derby away. What did you make of that, mate? Yeah, luckily you never went there, Kenny.
Well, first and foremost, normally when I do fan cams, I normally talk about the match. But this thing, something bigger happened. You know, it wasn't just the fact that Peter Schmeichel had a lot to say pre-match and post-match. It wasn't the fact that Carragher and Neville had an argument pre-match. It's this manager's interviews. If you seriously think you're going to get certain players to play for you again, after when you've thrown them under the bus, when it's your tactics, nah, mate. This is you. If you want to go away and lose in the dressing room, you well done, mate. Well done, mate. You say, them. Are you having a laugh? These guys, you are the biggest micromanager in football. I see you. I watch you on the bench. I see how you tell the players where to run, when to make the pass. You basically put them in positions. Every time there's a drinks break, those players have to come to you, where you will coach them and 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 overcoach them and overcoach them. And then, because things have gone wrong, when you're ready to take all the credit, you took the credit after we beat Real home and away. You took the credit the last couple of seasons when we improved, when we had a clear and identified way of playing. You took the credit. You take the credit for everything when the set pieces, you and your mate Nick you're there. But when it goes wrong, it's them. How dare you? How dare you? I'll back these players. I ain't got a problem backing these players. I've got no affinity with them. They're not my kids. They're not my brother. They're not my nephews. They're people who have dared to entertain me and get me some trophies. But I'm not having that. No, mate. These guys are micromanaged by you. If they don't make the long through pass, it's because you don't want them to. If they don't shoot when they're 25 yards of goal, it's because you don't want them to. It's because you prefer to work your way into the box and create an opening, a clear opening. That's on you, mate. You're the one who panicked after we started shipping goals 2 years ago when we were dropping points to West Ham after being 2-0 up. 3-1 down to Southampton. Drawing home and away to Southampton, you panicked and you changed the way we played. And you took credit for the fact we were difficult to break down, that teams were difficult to overlap. Teams found it difficult to overload us. You took the credit for that. You and your mates at the bench. The players never got the credit. You took the credit. Now, when things have gone well, when we're out of Europe, when we're 15 points beyond the champions, Not a champions elect. They're champions, now champions, because the season's going to be over in 2 weeks. It's them. You having a laugh? No, mate, man. I see you, mate. I see you. I see you. And I see people like you and Pep Guardiola and Amorim. Don't you dare micromanage the players, where players who don't work hard off the ball don't get a kick because they don't follow your instructions. And then when things go wrong, when the players are probably knackered and probably on their knees because they went out of Europe, you're now saying them, and these are the standards. No, mate, take some responsibility. What about when what was your in-game management about when it was going wrong at 2-0? Because I know what PSG's in-game management was when we were forcing saves, 3 saves from Donnarumma, when Declan Rice had put the ball wide from 5 yards out. In-game management from Enrique was he got their players to press us. He got their players to double up on their wingers. And then when they won the battle, they played football. That was in-game management. Where's your in-game management? And then you say them. And then when it goes, the only thing you did well today, mate, is that you didn't take the credit for the comeback. Because that would have been in character for you, wouldn't it be, mate? To take credit for the comeback. Well, let me tell you something about that. I've got a lot of respect for the players. Don't get me wrong. They got absolutely mullered. The first goal was a joke, an absolute joke, where the first warning sign, Gakpo, Saliba's out of position. Who knew? He'd been doing that for most of the season without Gabriel, and even when Gabriel was there. And then for a quick throw-in, good cross by Robertson, Saliba, Ben White weren't wide awake. And then straight after they scored a minute later, Liverpool did what you never allow your captain to do, or any of your players to do, play a long through ball down the middle and able to catch out a well-organised defence and pierce them, and then they got a second goal. And then it could have been World War III. It could have been an avalanche, but Liverpool took their foot on the gas. And let's remember, we got back in the game because Liverpool took their foot out of the gas, but the players that you called them got themselves back into it. It was that player called Trossard who you mess around and you don't know whether the difference between him and Martinelli when it comes to poor performances. Put that cross in for that guy, Martinelli, and then those players, them, bossed the game. Them press Liverpool in mistakes, and them put Liverpool in retreat where Liverpool were hanging on for a 2-1 win. It was them, those players you called them, and then they got back into it where Odegaard had a shot from 30 yards.
Oh my God, Kelly, say that again. What did he do?
Odegaard had a shot from 30 yards, and it was that player, him, who went and scored, got the equaliser. Because that's what you're calling them, him, them, and that.
They, she, her.
Yeah, and then what happens? Marino gets sent off because he's panicking because he knew how hard them worked to get back in the game. And then it could have been anything. But guess what? We could have won it when Odegaard, in injury time, had a shot from 25 yards, went wide. So let me tell you something right now, mate. It's you that are part of the problem. You have to take accountability for bad performances, for bad first halves, for bad results. It's no good, coming out with all sorts of like fairy tales about how we're the best team in Europe and how every team believes that. It's no good hiding behind people like Kieran McKenna, hiding behind people in the media like Yang Fjortoff, Martin Keown. All these people you hide behind. People like the presenters on Talk Sport, the presenters at TNT Sport.
Alan Smith, Theo Walcott.
Alan Smith, Thea Walcott, Ian Wright.
Martin Keown.
Laura Woods. No, mate. It's on you now because after 5 years, we've won nothing. And thankfully, people are beginning to ask questions. No longer are we going to be fed a diet of bullshit of how you took us from A- to A+. No. Don't work like that, mate. That's a given. All you've done is get the players to do the basics right and do it well consistently. Of course, they're going to do. They have to do it right consistently because they play for Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal Football Club should be one of the hardest teams to beat in the Premiership. They should be a challenger for trophies, and I use that term loosely. But under your watch, they haven't been able to get over the line, and that is the problem. You cannot get the team over the line, and there's so many cracks that we can't paper over. I'm sorry, mate. You were looking at the European Cup to get you out of a hole. I'm sorry if I've been noticing it from day blood dot, and so has Lee, and so has many other people. But we've been shouted down. But right now, people who don't have affiliations to Arsenal, like Jamie Harraher, Peter Schmeichel, and even your mate Robbie Mustoe on NBC has deserted you. It's on you, mate. That's why we've gone 5 years without a trophy. And let me tell you something now. Don't even take credit for the fact that you're Man City's rivals, because under your watch, nothing's changed. Liverpool,
Under his watch, Kenny. Sorry to cut him. They did a 4-peat and a treble, mate.
It doesn't even matter. Under your watch, Liverpool are still Man City's rivals. On your watch, when Man City were off the boil, it was a team that their real rivals went and won the league at a canter. Not us, them. It was them under Pep's watch who won the Champions League and got to 3 Champions League final. Under Pep's watch, that team's won 2 League Cups. Under Pep's watch, they won an FA Cup. And under Pep's watch, they got the runners-up. And under Pep's watch, they won the Super Cup and they won the World Club Championships. Under Pep's watch, still, despite the fact we finished second consecutively. And let's not forget, in 2023, Man City won the title without kicking a ball. And Man City, in last season, when we were allegedly close to Man City, they were always in front. It wasn't really a title race, was it, mate? So I'm glad you got your dues. And I feel sorry for any player that plays under you, because if you throw them under the bus, that's not your job. That's my job. You're there to pick them up and get them ready for the next 2 games. And good luck with that, mate.
Mic drop moment. Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. Love Kenny. We'll be back again for the podcast tomorrow. We're out. I'm going live right now. We've got a whole heap of guests. Congratulations to Liverpool. Fully deserved winners. They did what they had to do. Whether that was creep over the line, second gear, third gear, or go full tilt. Nobody cares. They won the league. All the history books say is they've won the league. So we'll discuss this a little bit more in depth tomorrow on the Real Talk podcast. At 6 p.m. UK time. Until then, I'm going live right now, and I'm out. Cronky out. I'll set her out. Fuck them.